Hello everyone, it's Suryan here, and I want to just go over KOF 15's systems so that you have a basic understanding of the game when it does come up sometime in February of 2022. So for starters, I thought I'd go over the systems. In particular for starters, I'd go over the HUD, just because you will see it and it's going to have very obvious impacts on the game itself. So if we look at the top of the screen, you will see the health bars that are in green color, and your objective, as is the case with most fighting games, would be to deplete that health down to 0, and you will have to do this for 3 characters, since more often than not KOF is played as a team game of 3 characters. So the way you would make sure that health bar goes down is to inflict attacks or throws like so, like so. Those would be the main ways that you take off health in King of Fighters. Now what you'll also notice is just below the health bar there is a guard meter. Now in King of Fighters there is a guard crush mechanic. Basically the idea is, if the opponent was to block excessively, there would be a point where his guard would break and you would then get a free hit. So when a match starts, the guard gauge will be full like this, and every time an attack is blocked, the guard gauge will deplete, but it will also return eventually. Now the more attacks that you do block, like so, you will initiate a guard crush, and you can get a free combo or a free attack from there. Now in between the health bars, what you will see is a timer. Right now it shows an infinity symbol, but typically for a KOF match it'll be in 60 seconds or 60 ticks, which almost always translates to 90 real life seconds. Now the timer in King of Fighters is probably going to play a bit more of an important role compared to another fighting game, simply because if you finish your opponent quicker in this game, depending on how much time is left on the timer after you've defeated your opponent, it's proportional to how much health you will get back for the character who did the work. So the quicker you finish a match, the more health you will get back for the next character that you're about to fight. Now underneath all of that you will see meters. You will see the number 5 and you will see maximum, right? And you'll also see the max mode OK. So when you start a match in King of Fighters, both you and your opponent will have 0 bars to begin with. The way you want to fill up the bar is to either deal damage to your opponent, make them block your attacks, or have your opponent do the same to you. In both instances, you will build meter. And I'll demonstrate this. See, in this instance, even though Iori blocked it, I was still able to build some meter from the exchange. If I did a throw, I'd still build meter from the exchange. So did Iori. Now if I landed the combo, once again I will build meter, and so will Iori. So as long as you can make contact with your opponent, whether it be hit or block, and whether your opponent can do the same to you, and as well as throws, it will all count to building meter. So now that you know how to build meter, the idea is to try and build up as many stocks as possible. So now I have officially built 1 bar of meter, and Iori has built up half. Now I won't get into too many specifics about meters, but generally this is how you want to fill up meter. And now as you see, I've built up 1 full bar, 1 full stock of meter for Kyo. Regarding meter, another thing that's worth noting is that the losing character, once the new character comes in from the same losing team, that new character will automatically get a new bar, a one stock to work with as a result of losing that character. Now, from earlier, you may have noticed a max mode OK portion of the bar just above the stock, the yellow stock portion. I'll explain how this works very briefly, but first I'll build up enough meter to demonstrate this.
Yes, as you can see, I don't play Kyo a whole lot.
Now you'll notice even within one bar, that max mode OK symbol doesn't show up just yet. Now you'll notice that the max mode OK bar suddenly shows up for Kyo. This is to suggest that when you do actually reach 2 bars of your stock, that you are then eligible for max mode. I won't go into too much detail about max mode, but I will say that it will lead to more damaging combos and etc, etc, etc. But what I'm trying to demonstrate is that max mode is something that you will need to be eligible for, and to be eligible for max mode you will need to have 2 stocks at the very least, so that you can then implement max mode into your game. Now, without going into too much detail about meter specifically, one thing I will bring up is that your first character will be able to build up a maximum of 3 stocks. Similarly, your second character will be able to build up to a maximum of 4 stocks, and your final character will be able to build up to a maximum of 5 stocks. And that about does it for the HUD of King of Fighters 15. I'll move on to the other aspects of the system so that you can also get into the feel and the understanding of the game. And I do look forward to hearing from you if you happen to have any more questions. And yes, do have a nice day anyways. Take care.